They always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly for the Real Sports Talk. NBA opening night, the Heat and the Celtics. The Heat get their rings pre-game tonight. Ray Allen, before he goes in, the former Celtic, this is his first game back against the Celtics. Now, it wasn't in TD Bank North Garden, that should be interesting, but his first game back against his former team. When he was introduced, there was loud cheering from the Heat fans, and then there was a commercial break, and he went over to high-five all his teammates. Doc Rivers even gave him a hug, and we know that relations between him and Doc Rivers last year weren't necessarily the strongest, and are probably the reason that he is no longer wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. He high-fives, hugs some teammates, and then he goes over to try and acknowledge Kevin Garnett, and KG just ignores him, gives him the cold shoulder. He just pats him on the back. I mean, quite honestly, Ray Allen, I think that's something you do before the game. Even though there was a commercial break, I wasn't a huge fan of the move of going over to each individual teammate. I think the result of going over to Kevin Garnett may have been different pregame. Maybe it wouldn't. Kevin Garnett is a tremendous competitor and really not a nice guy when you're on the court, when you're his opponent. He wants to beat you as much as pretty much any athlete I've ever seen. And being as competitive as that, I can't frown upon that. A lot of people are frowning on Kevin Garnett for not acknowledging him. I really did not have a problem with it all. The Heat do go on to win this game 120-107 over the Celtics. It was a game that in the first quarter and a half looked very good. The second and third quarter really wasn't much of a game, and the Celtics did make a run late once LeBron James left the game. They made a run late, but it was just too late at that point. The key performers tonight, LeBron James in almost about 3 quarters, maybe a little bit more than 3 quarters, and I'll get to his injury in a little bit. He shot 10 of 16 with 26 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, so a solid overall game for him. Dwayne Wade shot 10 of 22, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 4 steals. That was a nice recovery because early on he did not look very good. For the Celtics, Rajon Rondo, the guy who I had finishing 3rd in MVP voting coming in to this season, he has 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. I mean, he's just so fun to watch because he does it all. As small as he is, he's able to do it all. Leandro Barbosa, in his first game with the Boston Celtics, he has 16 points, all of which come in the 4th quarter. And that really leads me to my next point. The Celtics bench looks extremely improved from last year between Barbosa, Sullinger. Jeff Green didn't have a great performance tonight, but you can tell with Jeff Green it's going to be there by what he did in Oklahoma City. And then Jason Terry is also there as well. And I think he fits that team better than what Ray Allen does because he's able to do more. I talked about that in the pregame. We've talked about it on the Blitz Hardcore podcast. Ray Allen may fit the Heat better, but Jason Terry is able to do more for the Boston Celtics. They needed a player that was going to do more than just be a really good shooter. And I think Jason Terry fits that mold, so it was a nice pickup for him. LeBron James had the cramps. Left late in the 3rd quarter, came back in for the beginning of the 4th quarter. We mentioned he still had 26 points, 10 rebounds, so it wasn't exactly like he missed out tonight. But the cramps are becoming somewhat of an issue, and maybe it's just 2 games where LeBron happened to have cramps. But we know he had it in Game 3 of the NBA Finals last year. That was a problem, and then he has it now in this game. He's playing in warmer weather than he used to in Cleveland, in Miami, or living in warmer weather, I guess I should say, because indoors, I mean, the bottom line is he's got to hydrate better. That's the only thing I can think of. You got to eat more bananas. You got to make sure that you are not getting cramps in the game because that is something you cannot do. I don't have any question about how conditioned LeBron James would be. It's just a matter of he's not hydrating properly before the game, and I don't know why he's not doing that, but he needs to get that under control because last year in Game 3 of the Finals, they were leading. The Thunder didn't catch up, but the Heat got him a lead, and then LeBron was able to hit a big 3 to kind of ice the game, and it was pretty symbolic. But, I mean, what if the Heat are down 3 in the NBA Finals with a minute left in the game or 2 minutes left in the game, and LeBron James just cramps up? He's not going to go out of the game, and if he does, then he's really going to get killed. And if he does stay in the game, well, then you're certainly not going to be as effective, and they can't afford to have that happen. So LeBron James needs to figure out his cramps. The final thing I want to get to is the LeBron James and Dwayne Wade dynamic, because early on, Dwayne Wade looked like he tried to kind of prove early on by taking some shots that just were ugly, that, look, I'm still Dwayne Wade, I'm still kind of this star player, and he is. I don't have any question in my mind after watching the fourth quarter that Dwayne Wade is still a star in this league, or at least a star caliber talent. But what you saw in that fourth quarter when LeBron James was not in there was that the Heat, offensively, Dwayne Wade was still putting in some points, but they weren't getting the rebounds the way they were. They're a very small lineup as it is, but when you take LeBron James out, it was virtually just Chris Bosh in there to get rebounds, because guys like Shane Battier, he became ineffective, because what LeBron does is he opens up so much for the rest of his team. Now, maybe him and Dwayne Wade don't work extremely well together, but it opens up those big threes for guys like Mike Miller, Shane Battier. We saw in Game 5 of the NBA Finals last year. It will open up those big threes for Ray Allen. We didn't see it as much tonight. Ray Allen did chip in 24 points tonight, so he had a solid game. But I think Dwayne Wade still proved to me that he's a star. But LeBron James proved tonight, him not being in the game, kind of proved why he was the best. Or he is the leader of that team and one of the best, if not the best players in the game. I think he's the best in the game right now, because we saw that Dwayne Wade was still able to score, but we didn't see as good a rebound. We didn't see the Heat offense look as crisp as it looked early. And then defensively, they really struggled to get back. The Celtics were getting in transition. So it's just not a great performance by them late in this game. They're going to need LeBron James in there for his height, his rebounding ability. I mean, he had a very good game rebound tonight. 10 rebounds in only about 3 quarters. So if you project this out, he probably would have had 32, 13 or 14 rebounds. I mean, those rebounds are going to be huge on this team, especially when you play a team like the Celtics that is bigger than you, has guys like Jared Solinger, Kevin Garnett that can get rebounds. When you face the Sixers and you face Andrew Bynum, if you were to play the Lakers and get up against the Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol combination, you're going to need to have LeBron James in there. That's why I'm saying these cramps are, you're going to have not have that happen. That's pretty much it. Dwayne Wade played well late, but he is not going to lead this team to being an NBA champion. They need LeBron James in there with Dwayne Wade, with Chris Bosh, to really make this thing work. I'll see you guys later for the Lakers and the Mavericks review.
Just a little bit around the corner from fear. Be there by next year, where I'm going.